What is up, everybody? This is Logan with the TCG Pulse, bringing you my Infernoble deck profile. Over the past 2 weeks at Locals, I've been undefeated with this deck. The deck list did change a little bit from week 1 to 2. We'll kind of get into that as we go. But without further ado, here is Infernobles. Starting things off with the Infernoble lineup, we're on 2 Renaud, 3 Oliver, and then 1 Astolfo, 1 Ogier. Aside from Astolfo, this is pretty standard for an Infernoble package. I just like Astolfo because he's a Fire Warrior extender that can also modulate his level, which when you're going second, you're trying to chew through some boards. He can set up certain synchro paths. I wish he was a tuner, but he's not. But other than that, pretty standard. You're not going to see much variance there. Then we have the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. This card's insane. I love main deck boss monsters, and he's definitely a good one. You could play 2 or 3, just depending on your playstyle preferences. I just like the 1 because he's super searchable, and oftentimes 1 is all you need. Next up, we have our Fire Warrior extenders. 3 red layer, 2 Fire Flint Lady. If I wasn't playing the Astolfo, I'd probably play a 3rd Flint Lady or a 3rd of another card that we'll see later on. But these guys make a sold. That's their main job. Okay, then we have the 1 Genba. Genba just is the Fire Warrior tuner. You can normal summon him, then special Renaud. You can do Fire Flint Lady plays with him. But the main job is you're just summoning him off of the sold to get into Hulk and combo. Then next up we have probably the best warrior in the deck. We have Connector and we have Aqua Dolphin. 9 times out of 10, if I can help it and still combo, I'm going to summon Dolphin because the hand knowledge is invaluable. You want to know what you're up against. You want to know what kind of hand traps you have to play through, if you even have to play through them, because Dolphin, of course, can rip them out of the hand. He can enable like full hand loop combo lines. He can also just make sure the coast is clear that for your Isolde to resolve. Definitely want to play this. It's really, really important to any kind of like Isolde Turbo Warrior deck. Next up, we're on Despot, Coltwing. These are pretty standard by now. Everybody should know what these guys do. But I'm also playing 1 Creation Resonator. So we are playing Cupid Pitch in the extra deck. So we search this guy off of Cupid Pitch. He's just another tuner extender. These guys are the bricks, even though they're not really bricks, because you can still combo with them in hand. So really, really good kind of synchro tuner extender engine setup there. On to the spells. We're on 3 Heritage of the Chalice, 3 Durandal, and 1 Rhoda. So if you like decks that search a lot, most decks, what deck wouldn't want to play 7 Rhodas basically? So these cards basically dig anything you want out of your deck. Make sure you can get the right combo pieces to step through the combo, break boards, chew through negations. It just tutors anything out of your deck. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Onto the equips, besides Durandal, I guess. Metal Silver Armor and Phoenix Blade. Phoenix Blade is pretty standard, self-explanatory. Metal Silver Armor is insane. I think every Infernoble deck should be playing this by now. The target lock, that interaction that it has with Oliver, is invaluable, especially against certain decks. Virtual World, things like that. Any deck that wants to target stuff now can't, because you're going to have your board with Metal Silver equipped to a Charles along with an Oliver. So Metal Silver basically says that you can only target the equipped monster with card effects. That means any card effect that would target a monster has to target the equipped monster. However, Oliver, when equipped to a Fire Warrior, says that Fire Warrior monster cannot be targeted. So it creates this soft lock where your opponent can't target any monsters. They have to deal with the equips before they can start breaking your board, which is why we are playing the Metal Silver Armor. The next up are just our equip extenders. We got Overdone Burial, Living Fossil, and then the 3 DDR. These are just extenders. You're playing a Noble Knight deck still, technically, which means you're going to be doing a lot of fun shenanigans with equip spells. And these are probably the best ones that you can possibly play. Some people might not play Overdone Burial. I like having the options to send stuff off of his old, depending on what my opening hand looks like, what my combo lines are going to look like. So this is probably the max. This plus the Metal Silver is probably the max number of equip spells that you can get away with playing, and still, function, as they're supposed to. Next up, we have 2 talents and 1 Called by the Grave, and then 3 Dark Ruler, no more. We're not on hand traps, so we're playing these cards just to try and break the boards. Called by the Grave is limited, so we got the talents. If I wasn't playing Assault, I'd play a third of talents, because just baiting out hand traps and then using talents to rip other ones out of your hand, out of your opponent's hand, or drawing into the extra extenders you need, going second, being able to steal stuff or draw into more board breaking cards. Talents is insane for this deck and really, really, really important. So that is the last of the spells. That's the main deck. We're on 41 cards. On to the extra. We're on one Charles. He's the big bad Infernoble boss monster. He's a pop on your opponent's turn with Captain Roland in the grave. We are obviously on Captain Roland. You're going to end most of your boards equipped with Charles equipped with Metal Silver and Oliver to get that targeting lock that we talked about earlier. And of course, Captain Roland being a 5-tuner just gets you into your plays better. Next up, we are on Baron de Fleur. So week 1 undefeated, I played Savage and a throwaway unicorn. I didn't even bother making it. But we cut the Savage to make room for Baron and Cupid Pitch. Cupid Pitch being level modulation, Baron being the end board boss monster. She's a warrior. That's the main reason that she's better than Savage. Also, once she's used her negate, being able to throw herself back in the extra deck and bring out a Gearfried or a Charles or a tuner, just whatever you need for your follow-up. To kill your opponent on the third turn of the game. Baron's just insane. I know she's expensive, but if you can afford her, you're trying to play Infernobles, you should definitely be playing Baron. And then Cupid Pitch, the level modulation effects, along with searching the creation resonator. This just helps kind of like bridge your plays better, so that you can build a better board and break boards better as well. Next up, we got Omega. So it came down to, when I was implementing the Baron package, it came down to keeping Savage or cutting it and keeping Omega. I opted to keep Omega just because, he's obviously the hand rip card, but also when he's in the graveyard, being able to recycle stuff. You go through your entire extra deck if you're doing the main combo right. So being able to have Omega that you can link it off, or you'd link it off, or just put it in the graveyard to recycle something if need be. If you're up against a Dogmatica player trying to Maximus you or whatever, Omega's just really, really good. Oftentimes you can hand loop your opponent. If, say you Dolphin, you see hand traps, you loop the hand traps, but there's also a Dark Ruler in there. You can go for a hand loop combo that knocks everything out of your opponent's hand, so that you increase the chances that this thing hits the Dark Ruler out, and you can survive your opponent's crackback. 2 Power Tool. We are on the 2 Power Tool version. This just searches your equip spells, so you have extenders, so you have ways to kind of push through a board. Also, he's a machine, which is nice. I've had instances where my Halqifibrax gets disrupted, and I just make this under the Halq and then turn this and the Halq into Auroradon and continue comboing from there. So just a little tidbit for you Infernoble players out there. Shooting Riser Dragon, the level modulation is really, really important. Again, kind of like Cupid Pitch. You're going to make this through the main combo to try and manipulate the levels and build the board that you want to build. Otherwise, he's just a really good synchro to be playing. We're on the one Balmong. Balmong just helps extend your plays. You're not always going to make this, depending on where you get hand trapped, if you get hand trapped, but he is still really, really useful to play. You're obviously going to be playing this in the Dracosac version. Herald, part of the end board. The Floodgate effect helps protect you from Droplet, and Omni Negate's good. We're playing the one Dracosac. The Dracosac version is probably the better version of Infernoble right now, just because of the extension that it gives you, being able to recycle the bot so many times. But also, I mean, the hidden secret of this card is that he's a good board breaker. I mean, I still make this go on second sometimes because it's an extra pop. Once you've started to kind of like eat your opponent's negates and stuff, you know, you can bring out 2 tokens, and then he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects while you've got tokens. A lot of people won't read that effect, and they'll try to attack into this thing or pop it with a card effect while you've got a leftover token on the board. So Dracosac does more than just extend the combos. He's actually a really good monster to play. Links, we got 2 Assault. This is self-explanatory. Not only is it a Warrior Turbo deck, but it is also literally Noble Knights. So you definitely want to be playing 2 Assault, 1 for the main combo, 1 for the follow-up in case you get disrupted, or if you're trying to kill your opponent with the crackback. Then we're on Halqifibrax and Auroradon. These are self-explanatory. It's a synchro deck. They help extend synchro plays. And that is it. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're into wombo combo decks, I definitely think this is something that you should be taking a look at. Infernobles is definitely a sleeper pick for the meta currently. So like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to see a combo video, let us know. I'd definitely be interested in showing some of the combo lines that I've kind of developed over the course of playing this deck. Otherwise, see you next time. Thanks so much.